From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good morning. I'm First Alert Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. We still have the two wildfires within the region. We have the Williams Mine Fire and the Tiger Creek Fire. This one's still at 42% contained. This one is still at 89% contained. So that's all we have to say about those in particular. Right now, temperatures are frosty. We are right at, if not below freezing in the Yakima and Kittitas valleys. We are just a little bit above that, not by much though, within the lower Columbia Basin. Then we're seeing temperatures in the upper 30s to mid 40s in the foothills of the Blues. Just a reminder, we have a freeze warning that's still in place for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, also for the foothills of the Blues. That runs until 9 this morning, so you might have to break out the ice scraper or turn on the defrost rather early for this morning. Okay, you see some of these showers that are over the Puget Sound right now. Well, those will be impacting us a little bit later today, but overall these are going to be small shower chances for both today and tomorrow. We're going to trend a little bit warmer this weekend after a pretty cool day for today, but then turning cooler and wetter again late Sunday into Monday. So I'll show you just how warm we'll be for this weekend, and also I'll touch on all those rain chances. So all that's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a serious car and motorcycle crash results in an arrest in Kennewick. What we know so far. And the Oregon State Fire Marshal is sending 6 people to North Carolina to help with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. We have how many people are still unaccounted for. It's all coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. It is Friday, October 18th. Happy Friday to everybody. We're going to start off your top stories in Kennewick. So one person has been arrested after a serious car crash on Edison Street. It happened last night just before 6 p.m. The crash involved an SUV and a motorcycle. One person was taken by ambulance, but the extent of their injuries are unknown at this time. The southbound lanes were shut down for a short time while authorities investigated. In more traffic-related news, a crash investigation on SR 240 near Hagen Road backed up rush hour traffic yesterday. The crash happened just after 3:30. It appears it involved at least one vehicle. Authorities were also spotted inspecting the railroad crossing area near where their car was stopped. There is significant damage to the railroad tracks. The roads were closed for a short time, but they opened within an hour. Now to continuing coverage on the Navy aircraft that crashed near Mount Rainier this week. The search is still ongoing for the 2 crew members that were aboard. The aircraft crashed Tuesday in Yakima County, and the wreckage site was located Wednesday on a mountainside just east of Mount Rainier. Officials say the jet crashed in a remote area. Also, the Navy says an emergency operations center has been established at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island to coordinate response efforts. In Richland, a change could actually be coming to their voting system thanks to its residents, and that's according to the group A Better Richland. The Bend County Auditor says the group collected enough signatures on their petition. So last week, the group presented more than 3,800 signatures from residents to the city clerk. Currently, all Richland City Council members are elected at large, but A Better Richland wants districts to bring more representation across the city. With the signatures now validated, that means it will go to the ballot for voters on an upcoming measure, but it will not be on this November's ballot. In Oregon, the Department of the State Fire Marshal has deployed an incident management team to North Carolina. This is to help with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. The crew left this morning, and the North Carolina Emergency Operations Center says 90 people are still missing and many communities remain inaccessible. The team is led by Incident Commander Ian Yoakum, and the team includes an Operations Section Chief, Plan Section Chief, and 3 Logistics Section Chiefs. The 6-person team will be working northeast of Asheville. A new ordinance has been approved by the Yakima City Council this week. It will prohibit the operation and possession of a shopping cart on public rights of ways and also in parks. This allows for immediate seizure of the shopping cart, and a person violating this ordinance would be subject to a civil infraction and face a fine of $50.
If a store or a business has an identified cart, they will receive written notice of impoundment. and they will have 14 days to retrieve that cart. So if a store does not have an identified cart, they will not receive notice that they can retrieve it, but they will receive the cart collection fee.
The city was already able to impound most abandoned carts, but this amended language makes it clear owners are still exempt from the fee if they have previously installed locking devices on their carts. In community news, the Pasco City Council continues to discuss its long-term plans for the Pasco Aquatic Center. They've increased their indoor space to 60% and have left room for more phases of the project to expand in the future. One council member brought up that it still might not be enough.
Remember that this is by definition a regional facility. This is also a facility that the city of Pasco is paying for with the sales tax. It is not coming from sales tax of Richland and Kennewick.
The first phase of the center is set to break ground in January, with the grand opening planned for April of 2026. Going from Pasco to Kennewick, you may have noticed some construction work going on at the Vista Field project. The most visible changes are happening at the 2 old airplane hangars that are being turned into an open-air pavilion. That project is expected to be finished in time for Thanksgiving, and that space can host many different kinds of public gatherings, such as art walks or live music.
You may have seen a sign on what I call Lot 15, and that is Kuki Izakaya put up their sign that they are going to start their construction on their Japanese restaurant probably mid-November. Progress is being made on the Southern Gateway Pavilion project, so the 2 former aircraft hangar buildings that are being turned into open-air pavilion space. They're installing some restrooms, and then they'll be putting a container down, a cargo container that will kind of act as a little stage.
The 5-story building will be going in at a later time. It'll have the first floor for commercial spaces, things like restaurants, bakeries, and smaller shops. And according to the director of real estate, it's still in the planning stages, but steadily moving forward. Now, if you heard a lot of cheering coming out of Pasco yesterday, then you were hearing the sound of the Pasco Fire Department celebrating. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma has a look at the 4 hardworking firefighters that are moving up the ladder.
These empty seats right here quickly turned into the reason for the cheering crowd.
I, Gilberto Diaz.
Do hereby solemnly swear.
Do hereby solemnly swear.
That I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America.
That I will uphold the Constitution of the United States of America.
4 men were all honored for their hard work and moving up the ladder in their firefighting career. Tim Harkins, Deputy Chief of Operations, Steve Austin, Captain Medical Service Officer, James McGrath, Captain Training Officer, and Gilberto Diaz, Lieutenant Assistant Training Officer. All 4 firefighters had their families as part of their transition ceremony.
I was very happy and I was very emotional, and that's just awesome. We're going to keep doing it, what we're doing. I'm very proud of him, and he's doing amazing, and I know he's going to keep doing more amazing things with his work.
Any kind of message that you would like to tell your dad within his new position?
I'm going to do what he is.
Chris Morton, Deputy Fire Chief for Support Service, says when it comes to who goes into what role, it's about having the right people in the right spots.
So we're constantly evaluating the positions, the workloads, and once we understand the needs of the department and the needs of the community, after that, we want to put the right people basically in the right seat and the right bus. That's kind of the slogan we have. So we found the team that we wanted, and we've got them in the right direction.
Diaz says his first call to serving others came in when he served on the front line with the Marines. Later, a certain siren rang in his ear.
In that reserve time frame, I'd always run right by my local fire station, Benton 2, Station 210. And one day I decided to pop by and just kind of speak to them, say hi. At the time, Captain Bates, now he's Chief Bates, pulled me in, pulled me through, showed me a tour, and by the end of it, I had an application in my hand and had a love and passion for the fireside.
How do you feel about your son saying he wants to be just like his dad when he grows up?
It makes me very proud. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm doing something right and that he wants to push forward into it. I'm definitely going to help him train and do what he needs to do, but I'm also not going to be hurt if later down the road he changes. I really just want to support them the best I can.
Diaz says with his new position, he plans to continue putting in the work.
Hoping I spend my time in training, build up some efficiencies, help the department get better where it needs to go, and then get back out to line with the crews and start working with them again.
Morton says that he's excited and looking forward to the growth within the fire department here in Pasco. Reporting in Pasco, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Texas man Robert Robertson was set for execution by lethal injection yesterday, but he's still alive right now. Coming up, we have why the state Supreme Court halted the execution and also what's next. But first up, Josh will have your weather forecast. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sussler, and I approve this message.
At Consumer Reports, we've been testing products and advocating for consumers for over 80 years. Each year, we test thousands of products for safety, reliability, and performance. A product with high scores becomes CR recommended. You'll see CR recommended while shopping online and in stores. We buy all of the products we rate. No one can pay us to rate a product. Purchase a membership to Consumer Reports and get exclusive access to detailed ratings and reviews on CR.org and our mobile ratings app.
18 years, 32 years, 20 years, 35 years.
A job not only supports a family, but it gives you dignity. I'm Maria Beltran. With warehouses closing and hundreds of jobs lost, it's time we elect a fighter. Like so many of us, my family struggles to keep up with the cost of groceries and afford rent. Your family's struggles are my family's struggles. I'll work hard for you in Olympia.
Paid for by Friends Maria Beltran.
Thank you to our incredible community for 5 years of unwavering support. At Morphine Law Firm, we're committed to justice for all, and that's just one of the reasons why we offer free consultations. Call us today at Morphine Law Firm.
If you've been considering updating your kitchen or bath countertops, be sure to attend the Costless Carpet Annual Slab Sale. This Saturday, Costless Carpet designers and fabricators will be on site. Every in-stock slab is on sale, with select slabs marked down up to 50%. Choose from a huge selection of quartz, marble, and granite slabs. Fabricators will only be on site this Saturday from 9 to 5, so write in your plans and drawings for instant savings. Find your nearest Costless Carpet at costlesscarpet.com.
Hey Bruce. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do you remember what it was like not to be famous?
I do.
You have the best job in the world.
Hell yes, I do.
Sunday night on ABC.
Baltimore battles Tampa Bay Monday Night Football on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. It is a chilly start out there. We're right at 30 for Cle Elum, 30 degrees for Ellensburg. So in those areas, you would want to break out the ice scraper and turn on the defrost a little bit earlier this morning. And then in the Yakima Valley would be the same thing. 30 in Yakima, 32 for Toppenish, 33 degrees in Sunnyside. In the Lower Columbia Basin, we are close to freezing in Connell, but the Tri-Cities, Benton City, Prosser, it's a little bit warmer than that. And then for the foothills of the Blues, we have temperatures in the 30s and 40s this morning. Always a little bit warmer in that little banana belt, Walla Walla, Milton Freewater, temperatures there in the low to mid 40s. Okay, here is your day planner for today. We'll have temperatures for this morning in the 30s and 40s by 8 this morning, that is. You can see overcast skies in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, and that's going to be a little indicator of some showers to come. Arriving to the Kittitas Valley by lunchtime, maybe a little bit after that for the Yakima Valley, and we could also have some showers arriving into the Lower Columbia Basin by this time frame. So For today, it's going to be a cool day. We'll still be about 5 degrees below average for this time of the year. We'll have winds gusting out of the south, upwards of 20 miles per hour in the Tri-Cities. So that is due to a warm front that's going to pass. And you notice that our overnight lows are much warmer compared to what we're seeing for this morning because of the aforementioned warm front. Now, at this point, we should be dry for the basin and foothills, but more showers possible in the valleys and also in the Cascades. I'll tell you how much rainfall we're expecting from the storm system, and I'll sneak preview the storm system that we could deal with for Sunday into Monday. So that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. In your national headlines now, death row inmate Robert Roberson has more time to plead for clemency. This after the Texas Supreme Court granted a last-minute stay of execution last night. The court isn't explaining its reasoning, but the legal maneuvers leading up to the stay are historic. State lawmakers subpoenaed Roberson to try to save his life. Supporters hope to use the delay to argue on his behalf. He was convicted of murdering his 2-year-old daughter more than 20 years ago. But in this letter, 86 bipartisan state lawmakers are begging for clemency. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor writes that Roberson, quote, has made a serious showing of actual innocence. She also says Roberson's case is out of her hands and that the U.S. Supreme Court could only issue a stay based on a federal claim. The Israeli Defense Forces have confirmed the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. It was confirmed through DNA testing and dental records, and officials say his body was spotted in the rubble of a building that was struck by an Israeli tank in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said there are no signs that any hostages were harmed in the mission. At this time, it's unclear how Sinwar's killing could impact ceasefire and hostage negotiations. Up next on Good Morning Northwest, famous comedian and ESPN personality Michael Collins is in town visiting the Boys and Girls Club. Our very own Dan Hansen got to chat with him about how this organization helped shape him into the man he is. You don't want to miss that in just a few minutes.
Back to school. That means more kids will be out in traffic when you least expect them. They don't know the rules of the road yet, but you do, so drive safely. This message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Head to Queensgate Gardens in Richland for some fall family fun. Explore our corn and hay bale maze, zoom down the dump truck slide, try pumpkin archery, and get creative with pumpkin painting. New this year is laser tag and a U-Pick flower field. Make fall memories at Queensgate Garden in Richland.
Once, this table belonged to you. But when you decided to donate it to Goodwill, it transformed into their table, supporting before-school gatherings, cherished family dinners, and creative crafting sessions. Its impact stretches even beyond. Goodwill utilizes the proceeds from its sales to assist local individuals in overcoming employment hurdles, providing training and job placement services not only for individuals, but also for local businesses. And that's how one table can support the opportunity for everyone to create their own stories and memories. Goodwill, your Halloween headquarters.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people, who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
There's no place like home, because Saturday night is hockey night in Seatown as the Kraken look to pour cold water on the Red Hot Flames. Kraken, Flames, pregame at 6:30, Saturday night on MeTV. There's no place like home, because Saturday night is hockey night in Seatown as the Kraken look to pour cold water on the Red Hot Flames. Kraken, Flames, pregame at 6:30, Saturday night on MeTV.
Head to Queensgate Gardens in Richland for some fall family fun. Explore our corn and hay bale maze, zoom down the dump truck slide, try pumpkin archery, and get creative with pumpkin painting. New this year is laser tag and a U-Pick flower field. Make fall memories at Queensgate Garden in Richland.
Happy September. Enjoy our Indian summer and back to school. Remember, going 35 in a 20-mile-an-hour school zone doubles your stopping distance.
Call 735-0546. They're waiting to help you.
A portion of the news is sponsored by Kubota.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, we have some showers that are over the Olympic National Forest right now. Those are moving towards the east, and eventually, a little bit later in the day, those do have the opportunity to impact our area. We're going to have about 30 to 40% shower chances for the Yakima and Kittitas valleys, but about 10% chances for the lower Columbia Basin and for the Blue Foothills. Here will be the time frame of that. After lunchtime in the Kittitas Valley, after 1 p.m. in the Yakima Valley, that 4 to 8 time frame for the lower Columbia Basin, and then 6 to 9 p.m. for the foothills of the Blues, including Walla Walla and Pendleton. Now into tomorrow, we'll have a chance of some more showers, but this time the chance is a little bit lower, specifically for the Kittitas and Yakima valleys, and it's probably going to be the Kittitas Valley that'll have the best chance of rainfall in between the mountain ranges, but just 10% chances for the Yakima Valley, for the basin, and also for the foothills. And this time frame would be, well, in Ellensburg, there's going to be the chance, we'll have the chances all day to see some showers. It's not going to rain for the entirety of the day, but in the Yakima Valley, in the lower Columbia Basin, and the Blue Foothills, those shower chances would be in all likelihood before 11 a.m. If you had to tabulate some of the rainfall totals that we're expecting for both today and tomorrow, the Cascades hogging up pretty much all of it, between 1 inch to 1.5 inches, less than 1/10 of an inch for the valleys, for the basin, and for the foothills. Look at this, as we head into the weekend, we're going to have some much warmer high temperatures up into the mid-70s, but down the temperatures go again into next week, and that's going to be because of a couple different fronts. We have a warm front passing for today into tomorrow. That's going to provide these little shower chances, and then a cold front that's passing Sunday into Monday, providing some much bigger shower chances. For Sunday and Monday, we're thinking maybe 1 inch for the Cascades, less than 1/10 for the valleys, but maybe between 1/10 to 1/4 for the basin, foothills, and Blues. And we need every little bit of that we can get, and I'll have some numbers to back that up coming up a little bit later in the show. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities, turning warmer with small shower chances continuing for Saturday and Sunday, but much cooler and wetter by Monday. Then in Yakima, we'll bounce back and forth between 10 to 30% shower chances Friday through Monday, but looking much drier past Tuesday. In Ellensburg, 20 to 40% shower chances Friday through Monday, much warmer for Saturday and Sunday. Then the cold front knocks down our highs by Monday. Then for Hermiston, back into the 70s with small chances for wet weather on Saturday and Sunday, but much better chances of that on Monday as we turn cooler. Then for Walla Walla, a few stray showers possible through Sunday. Then rain chances go up as highs go back down for Monday, staying cool but turning dry Tuesday and beyond.
Thank you, Josh. And the Boys and Girls Club of Benton and Franklin counties hosted a special guest yesterday for their Dinner with Friends fundraiser. Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen spent time at the clubhouse hanging out with the guest of honor, Michael Collins.
Comedian, professional caddy, and ESPN personality Michael Collins is in town to tour the Boys and Girls Club and is set to speak at the Dinner with Friends fundraiser at the Three Rivers Convention Center.
It is a place of hope.
As he steps into the Boys and Girls Club, Michael Collins says he's impressed. Growing up in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Collins went to his local Boys and Girls Club just a few blocks from where he lived. He says he couldn't be more thankful because the Boys and Girls Club shaped him into the man he is now.
It allowed me to kind of flourish and allow my personality to be what it is today, which I probably should apologize to some of the counselors that were there for letting me be a class clown. And it was the same in school as well. But being around the Boys and Girls Club, it was a safe place where I could be me.
Collins says kids who end up at the Boys and Girls Club may not have a lot of hope, but a lot of the time, that changes once they get involved, because it opens up a new world they might not know about. CEO Brian Ace of the Boys and Girls Club of Benton and Franklin counties says the club wouldn't be around if not for community support and donations. The Dinner with Friends fundraiser is a way to involve the community, and having Collins there is a big help.
We get to bring the community together to hear about Boys and Girls Club, but also engage with a great speaker, to laugh a little, have some fun, and raise some money for clubs.
Ace says the clubhouse is supported entirely by community donations, and the goal at that dinner is to raise $500,000. What better way to achieve that goal by bringing in Collins, a club member and Boys and Girls Club Hall of Famer.
All I know is this is supposed to be a lot of people, which is going to be hard for me not to flip into comedy mode. Because you give me a microphone and a big crowd.
Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, tributes pouring in for Liam Payne, including ones his former One Direction bandmates have sent. Plus what the preliminary autopsy report has revealed regarding his death. That's all coming up in your entertainment headlines.
It's painfully obvious prices have been going up. Inflation is crushing American families, and inflation only has one cause.
Inflation in the United States is made in Washington and nowhere else. The real tax on the American people is what government spends.
And Dan Newhouse has voted for trillions of dollars in spending. As your congressman, I will vote against massive spending bills. Because Americans can't afford a new house. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
The Pacific Clinic is a health, sports, and medical campus in Kennewick now accepting new patients for primary care. We offer patient-specific solutions for physical, mental, and emotional health concerns. You'll receive quality one-on-one time with our medical professionals and experienced support team. Begin your new health plan with today's best technologies and facilities for the whole family. Play hard, live well at the PC. Call us at 509-783-5465 today.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0% APR for up to 84 months.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at GoKubota.com.
Senior living is more than just a home with Avamere at Englewood Heights. Experience the joys of life with engaging activities, delicious chef-prepared meals, and more to enhance your retirement.
We have beautiful landscaping, plenty of places to just hang out outside. We have this big, beautiful wraparound porch. A lot of people are scared when they move into assisted living that they're going to lose their independence, but it gives you your independence back. I'd love to show you around and help you with anything that you need.
McCurry's been around so long. A lot of people bought their cars here. Our customers are somebody that wants to be able to come back to us after they buy that car for whatever reason.
Which is one of the reasons we do take so much effort in making sure that they're going to be drivable for a long period of time.
So it's your daily journey. And so it's a lot more than just purchasing or something or a quick transaction. We're going to be here tomorrow to help you with whatever's on the car. Buying pre-owned with McCurry means your vehicle meets a higher standard.
Find your way home in a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle from McCurry Mazda.
Baltimore battles Tampa Bay Monday Night Football on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We have new details surrounding the death of Liam Payne, the former One Direction band member who died in Argentina after falling from a hotel balcony.
Tributes are pouring in honoring the beloved pop star, with many sharing how shocked and saddened they are. ABC has obtained the 911 call where a hotel manager feared for Payne's life. Melissa Don has the details.
Shock and sadness following the death of former One Direction band member Liam Payne. Authorities say the 31-year-old pop star fell about 40 feet from his third-floor hotel room in Buenos Aires, Argentina, late Wednesday, medics pronouncing him dead at the scene. New details from a preliminary autopsy report reveal the singer died from multiple traumas and internal and external bleeding from the fall. In these photos shared with ABC News by UK news outlet ITN, it appears to show drug paraphernalia and a smashed TV inside Payne's hotel room. ABC News obtaining the 911 call when a hotel manager called for help. In Spanish, the hotel manager saying there was a guest drunk with drugs and alcohol, breaking everything in the room, going on to say he feared for the guest's life because of the balcony. Payne had been in Argentina for the last 2 weeks, going to former One Direction bandmate Niall Horan's concert. Payne leaves behind his 7-year-old son, his family heartbroken, sharing a statement saying Liam will forever live in our hearts and we'll remember him for his kind, funny, and brave soul.
I've got fond memories of traveling around the world, meeting up with Liam and interviewing him. So hard to process that we've lost someone at just the age of 31, a ridiculously talented young man who achieved so much success with one of the biggest selling bands of all time.
Fans gathering outside the Argentina hotel, singing songs in mourning.
And a preliminary autopsy report has revealed that the singer died of multiple traumas and internal and external bleeding. It states 25 injuries were sustained as a result of the fall, and that head injuries were sufficient to the cause of death.
The autopsy also found no signs of a fight, and it noted Payne was alone in the room at the time of his death.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 5:30, 5 local credit unions came together to help victims of sex trafficking. They did this by beautifying a restoration home. We'll tell you what exactly they did in the next half hour, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the FCC's new rules for phone makers. New regulations will require all new phones to be compatible with hearing aids. At an event last month, Apple announced people with hearing loss will be able to use its AirPods 2 as hearing aids. Next, Instagram is adding new features to protect young users. The app will block suspicious follow requests and warn teens about messages from other countries. Instagram will also stop people from taking a screenshot or recording images that were meant to be viewed only once. Finally, Apple Pay is now adding buy now, pay later option. Klarna lets users purchase products with 4 interest-free payments. Apple Pay also supports buy now, pay later service with Affirm, along with new features like adding cards by tapping your phone. It comes months after Apple shut down its own pay later service. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Rhiannon Alley. Have a great day.
Lactate is 100% real milk, just without the lactose. Delicious, too. Just ask my old friend Kevin.
Nothing like enjoying a cold one while watching the game. Who's winning?
No idea. Real milk, real delicious. And don't forget to try some delicious, creamy Lactate ice cream. What's that, Mabel?
Wow. Smart cow.
No more gross cough syrup.
We all want you to feel better.
I want extra TV time or I'll walk.
How about this?
Introducing the Only Kids Soft Chew for medicated cough relief. New Mucinex Children's Mighty Chews are mighty clever.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad. Hey, watch it. It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex Disc contours to it, so the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best the man can get
is Gillette Labs.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, it's already freezing. I can feel it in here. I felt it outside, definitely. Is it getting any warmer, or are we just getting colder?
It's going to get warmer for this weekend, and then we're going to get colder again in the next week. So kind of one of those deals, yeah.
I typically like roller coasters, but not this.
Not this one, yeah. All right, we'll take a live look at Yakima. This view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. You can see all the beautiful city lights down below. And throughout today, we will have the chance for some showers, albeit it is not going to be a washout in the Yakima or the Kittitas valleys. Right now, temperatures are either at or below freezing in said valley, so that's where you would maybe need to break out the ice scraper. We're starting to get a little bit closer to that threshold within the lower Columbia Basin, 36 in the Tri-Cities, 33 in Hermiston, and then mid-30s to mid-40s, or excuse me, upper 30s to mid-40s in portions of the Blue Foothills. So all of us need a heavier jacket for this morning, and again, some of us do need that ice scraper. Now, we're tracking some showers, very light showers right now over the Olympic National Forest, but a little bit later today that could impact us, including within the Tri-Cities. From 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., that's going to be the best time frame for us to see some rain showers. So that's when you would maybe want to break out the rain jacket. So for today, overall, just small scattered shower chances. It's going to be a cool day. We'll have highs that'll be about 5 degrees below average for this time of the year. But we do have another storm system that's going to impact us as well, first of all, the warm front passing for today. That's going to bring our temperatures up into this weekend and getting knocked down by a cold front. That'll bring some more rain chances. And I'll tell you what that could do to our drought situation coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off your half hour with new information, International Credit Union Day was yesterday, and in honor of the day, 5 Tri-Cities credit unions joined together for a community project. GISA, HAPO, Numerica, STCU, and TriQ all teamed up, and this is their 4th year doing this. This year they spent the day planting trees and other plants at Esther's Home. Esther's Home is a restoration home, a part of Mir Ministries, which is a nonprofit for survivors of sex trafficking. The organization offers 24/7 care for women who are rebuilding their lives.
So we're out here beautifying their garden, planting trees and plants and flowers, which symbolically is fantastic, I think, just as growth and renewal for people who are needing to have a haven where they can grow and renew and recover from the trauma of what they've gone through.
Once completed, the grounds will have winding paths, gazebos for outdoor counseling sessions, raised aluminum garden beds, and beautiful landscaping. Tricia McFarlane is the co-founder for Mir Ministries. She says it's beautiful to see the community and these 5 credit unions come together.
A lot of times people think of like our credit unions, you would think they would be competitors. I'm sure they are in some ways, but they also come together as just a community, and that's pretty beautiful.
The local credit unions are also donating $17,500 to Mir Ministries, and they've already planned for 2026. TriQ President Doug Wadsworth says pretty soon they'll be looking for a nonprofit to do it all over again next year. In environment news, Amazon and Energy Northwest are partnering up to bring reliable energy across the Northwest. The two announced they're developing small modular reactor technology, and these reactors offer solutions to the need for reliable, carbon-free, and sustainable energy. The project is set to be near Energy Northwest Columbia Generating Station in Richland, and Energy Northwest tells us the SMR project has been in the works for a few years. Greg Cullen, the Vice President of Energy Services and Development, tells us this project will also help create more jobs.
We're expecting the construction jobs to be around 1,000 people or maybe higher at the peak. And then long-term jobs, anywhere from 100 to 200 long-term direct jobs.
Cullen also says there are efforts to bring some of the supply chain of this technology to the Tri-Cities. As for why build in the Tri-Cities area, the simple answer, this area is rich with nuclear knowledge. Facebook parent company Meta has fired 24 employees for misusing company meal credits. An internal investigation found that the funds were used instead for items like laundry detergent, wine glasses, and skincare treatments. At Meta's larger offices, employees get free food at company food courts, but at the company's smaller offices, you get meal vouchers instead. And that's to have food delivered while they work in the office. Now, Meta declined to share exact numbers, but the layoffs took place across various platforms, including Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Reality Labs. Turning to events happening this weekend, the city of Pasco is gearing up for its taco sprint. The taco boss says this is a great opportunity for people all over the region to experience the many different flavors of the city. It takes place in downtown Pasco near Peanuts Park, and there are 6 walkable taco locations, and the money raised stays local to help the youth in our community.
We really love supporting Boys and Girls Clubs. We love their mission. We love that every dollar that we raise stays in Pasco at the Pasco Clubhouse. We think that's really important to benefit the community that we're in right now. And we just really love everything they do for those kiddos.
So far, the Taco Crawl Committee has been able to raise more than $70,000. And to join the fund, you can get a $15 stamp card at the farmers market. Again, it's this Saturday, and it goes on from noon to 7 p.m. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, 71 musicians are performing this weekend at the Mid-Columbia Symphony for opening weekend of its 80th season. And coming up, Riley Fitzgerald takes us behind the scenes and tells us why this year is a special one. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
Seattle, Calgary, Saturday at 6:30 on MeTV.
Democrat candidate Maria Beltran led a liberal Seattle group that tried to defund police and allowed chaos and violence to take over the streets. Like Beltran, House candidates Anna Kennedy and Chelsea Demas oppose initiatives that would lower gas prices and the capital income tax and allow you to opt out of the expensive long-term care tax. Seattle liberals Maria Beltran, Anna Kennedy, and Chelsea Demas do not share your values and are too extreme for Central Washington.
Smoke City for Less is your one-stop shop in Kennewick, Richland, West Richland, Hermiston, Road 68 in Pasco, and at the new location on West Court Street in Pasco. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. at all 6 locations. Get the lowest prices on the largest selection of vape mods, classic to tropical vape flavors, batteries, cigars, tobacco products, kratom, and specialty products too. Don't waste time in other places. Go to Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
If you've been considering updating your kitchen or bath countertops, be sure to attend the Costless Carpet Annual Slab Sale. This Saturday, Costless Carpet designers and fabricators will be on site. Every in-stock slab is on sale, with select slabs marked down up to 50%. Choose from a huge selection of quartz, marble, and granite slabs. Fabricators will only be on site this Saturday from 9 to 5, so bring in your plans and drawings for instant savings. Find your nearest Costless Carpet at costlesscarpet.com.
I had surgery as a child that I barely remember, but decades later, the insurance company called that a pre-existing condition and denied me long-term care insurance. Washington State created a long-term care benefit to help millions of people like me afford the care we need. But I-2124 will take that benefit away, leaving millions with no way to get or afford long-term care. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. That's why we all have to vote no on I-2124.
One great idea can change your life.
That's the American dream right there.
I want to be on a team with you.
Emmy-winning Shark Tank season premiere tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Hey, good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in.
I'm in too. I am in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Okay, today we'll have a chance of showers, well, a really good chance of showers up in the Cascades, maybe even some snow showers this morning. Snow levels are going to be around 4,000 feet, raising up to 7,000 feet a little bit later in the day, but it's all going to be rain showers in the Kittitas Valley, and it will not rain there for the entirety of the day. In the Yakima Valley, we'll also have some little shower chances, around 30% chances. It's going to be cool today, 57 in Sunnyside, 57 for Union Gap, 54 degrees in Yakima. And then for the lower Columbia Basin, this is really where we'll have the best chances of seeing some breezes today, gusting upwards of 20 miles per hour. Notice they come out of the south and southwest because of the because of the warm front that's going to pass, and that's the reason why our temperatures are going to raise up into this weekend. 61 in the Tri-Cities, 59 in Benton City, 56 for Boardman, but again, much warmer for this weekend. And then for the foothills of the Blues, right around 60, 62 for Pilot Rock, 61 for Milton Freewater. And we will see a pretty small chance of showers there into this evening, around 6 to 9 p.m. Okay, I want to take a look back at Wednesday and Thursday's storm system. We were telling you about the rainfall deficit that we're in. Here's what it was looking like before the storm system, about 90 to 100% below average. But then a rainfall deficit trended in a better direction, so now we're between 70 to 90% below average. And as we look ahead to this storm system for Sunday and Monday, some of the preliminary estimates are that we can make some more improvements in that regard. So I'll put an actual rainfall total to that. Also, I'll have another look at your weekend forecast. So all that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now check this out. 71 musicians take to the stage this weekend for the Mid-Columbia Symphony's opening concert. This is its 80th season, and it's also the conductor's last season after 16 years. Riley Fitzgerald says this year they're highlighting a tune from the past that has a special meaning.
Has anything changed conducting this year, knowing that it is your last season here?
Oh, wow.
know. I think that maybe I'll find out a little bit this weekend, sort of how it feels to think that I only have a few concerts left as music director. But mostly it's gratitude and thanks for the effort that everybody's put in through all the rehearsals and all the concerts that we've had ever since 2008, because it really has been a pleasure.
Music director and conductor Maestro Nicholas Wallin says there's a personal angle to a song chosen for this weekend's concert. In 2008, in Wallin's first season, they kicked off the concert with the very same song the orchestra will start with this weekend.
Partly to display for the audience something about my sense of humor. I'm not sure that they got it entirely when we played this piece 16 years ago. But I love this piece, and I think it's really funny, and I want us to make people laugh.
I love the way he engages with the orchestra. A really good balance of being very friendly and approachable, but also getting a lot of work done, and it's really been great to work with him over the last several years.
Fellow musicians say they have seen growth for the Mid-Columbia Symphony physically in terms of numbers, but also growth from within.
Nick's been just a pleasure to watch him grow with the symphony as well. He's always been an amazing musician to begin with. I guess just watching him mature with the orchestra itself has been exciting.
I've gotten to spend some time listening to the orchestra play at their rehearsal, but to hear the whole thing, you got to catch that live at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday at the Richland High School Auditorium.
Go to where the music from the beginning comes back in. 81.
This is the first performance for the symphony in this 4-concert season in Richland.
And that's it. Okay. So.
Riley Fitzgerald, Apple Valley News Now.
Wallin currently lives in Chicago and plans to continue his music career over there. And again, the kickoff to the season starts this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at the Richland High School Auditorium. And the season will run all the way through the middle of June. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Josh will have your full weather forecast, but also still ahead is your morning sprint. Keep it right here.
Back to school. That means more kids will be out in traffic when you least expect them. They don't know the rules of the road yet, but you do, so drive safely. This message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Welcome to Chris's Recovery Shop.
Is your boat upholstery starting to look worn or has tears? From tops to seats to panels, we have you covered. Do you own a business and need repairs to seats or furniture? From agricultural to restaurant, we have you covered. Got a classic car that needs a little interior TLC? From seats to armrests and panels, we have you covered here too.
Chris's Recovery Shop in Yakima,
where we keep a good thing going.
This holiday season, believe in the magic of the North Pole. As you set sail for a holiday adventure like no other, marvel over the stunning light display along the magical journey to meet Santa. Experience the magic that only happens on Lake Coeur d'Alene. Even the Grinch can't resist the holiday cheer. Book during Santa's Sneak Peek Week and enjoy 25% off tickets from November 15th to November 27th and discover the magic of the holiday season.
Dirty tactics and lies have become a staple of American politics. But I'm not a regular politician. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message. Dan Newhouse is spending millions of dollars to spread outright lies about me. President Trump needs an ally in Congress who will join his fight to lower taxes, fix the economy, and restore traditional American values. I've been endorsed by President Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, but more importantly, I'm endorsed by you, the people, who handed me a decisive victory in the August primary. So vote for the conservative we deserve.
Our hometown. It's more than the regions we live in or the roads we drive on. It's a camaraderie, a belonging. It's working together to be a part of something bigger. All October long, bring a non-perishable food donation to McCurley dealerships or find a specially packed food donation bag at any local Yolks Fresh market. You are driving change in our community. That's what makes home, home.
From all of us at McCurley Subaru, thank you for helping us give back.
Back to school. That means more kids will be out in traffic when you least expect them. They don't know the rules of the road yet, but you do, so drive safely. This message is brought to you by Allen Brecky Law Offices.
Baltimore at Tampa Bay, Monday at 5, Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're still tracking those showers over the Puget Sound. That will eventually impact our region. At least there's going to be the potential for that for today. Now, the Cascades are going to get a lot of rainfall from the storm system, at least compared to us, as we'll have 30 to 40% chances of wet weather in the Yakima and Kittitas valleys, but just 10% chances of that in the basin and in the foothills. Now, the timing of all of this is going to be after 12 p.m. for the Kittitas Valley, after 1 p.m. for the Yakima Valley, and we could have showers lasting deep into the evening and into the overnight hours, but it's definitely a smaller time frame for the lower Columbia Basin, 4 to 8 p.m. and then 6 to 9 p.m. for the foothills of the Blues. And then into tomorrow, we'll have overall some smaller shower chances, 20% chances in the Kittitas Valley, but just 10% chances for the Yakima Valley, for the lower Columbia Basin, and for the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Now, the timing of this would be all day for the Kittitas Valley. It's not going to rain for the entirety of the day, but there will be a chance of wet weather for the entire day. And then for the Yakima Valley, for the lower Columbia Basin, for the Blue Foothills, it's going to be before 11 tomorrow morning, in which we will have a shot of seeing some wet weather. But in terms of the actual rainfall amount from this storm system, maybe an inch and a half for the Cascades, but not much doing at all for the Valleys Basin or foothills. So we have a warm front passing for today. That's why we're going to be so much warmer into Saturday and Sunday, mid-70s in the Tri-Cities. But then we have a cold front that's passing Sunday into Monday. And that's obviously going to drop our temperatures down. That's going to bring rain chances up. So the next big weather maker is going to be late Sunday into Monday. That storm system could provide maybe another inch of water for the Cascades. But what's different about this one is that maybe we could get a quarter of an inch of water this time for the basin, foothills, and mountains. But still, not much doing for the valleys. Here's a 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Turning warmer with small shower chances continuing for Saturday and Sunday, but much cooler and wetter by Monday. Then for Yakima, we'll bounce back and forth between 10 to 30% shower chances Friday through Monday, but looking much drier past Tuesday. And then for Ellensburg, 20 to 40% shower chances Friday through Monday, but much warmer for Saturday and Sunday. Then the cold front knocks down our highs by Monday. For Hermiston, back into the 70s with small chances for wet weather on Saturday and Sunday, but much better chances of that on Monday as we turn cooler. Then for Walla Walla, a few stray showers possible through Sunday, then rain chances go up as highs go back down for Monday, staying cool but turning dry Tuesday and beyond.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 5:52. It's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour. Starting off, here are the top 5 local stories you need to know this morning. The search is still ongoing for the 2 crew members that were aboard the Navy aircraft that crashed near Mount Rainier. It crashed Tuesday in Yakima County, and the wreckage site was located Wednesday just east of Mount Rainier. The jet crashed in a remote area, making it hard to get to. An emergency operations center has been established at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island to coordinate response efforts. A change could be coming to Richland's voting system. Currently, all Richland City Council members are elected at large, and the group A Better Richland wants to bring more representation. The group presented more than 3,800 signatures from Richland residents to the city clerk last week. Now, the signatures are validated, which means it will go to the ballot for voters on an upcoming measure. But to clarify, it will not be this November's election. The Oregon Department of the State Fire Marshal has deployed an incident management team to North Carolina to help with the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. Officials say 90 people are still missing and many areas remain inaccessible. The 6-person team left this morning. They will be working northeast of Asheville. 71 musicians are taking to the stage this weekend for the Mid-Columbia Symphony's opening concert. It's its 80th season, and it's also the conductor's last season after 16 years. The kickoff to the season starts this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. at the Richland High School Auditorium. The season will run all the way through the middle of June. The Taco Sprint in downtown Pasco is tomorrow, and this is an opportunity for people to experience the many different flavors of the city. There are 6 walkable taco locations, and the money raised goes towards the youth in our community. To join, you can get a $15 stamp card at the farmers market. Again, it starts at noon and goes on until 7 p.m. Now to your national headlines this morning. Early estimates show that Hurricane Milton could be one of the top 10 most expensive storms in U.S. history. The research firm CoreLogic estimates damages as high as $34 billion. As far as water and storm surge, uninsured flood damage is estimated to be about $4 to $6 billion. These estimates do not include the damages from at least 9 deadly tornadoes that hit Florida before Milton. Election Day is 18 days away, but preparations are already underway in Washington, D.C. for the inauguration. Riot fencing and concrete barriers have been placed around the White House and also around Lafayette Park. The National Park Service says along with security, this will make it easier for materials to be delivered and for machinery to be stored. And you might have less chocolate to grab from your kids' trick-or-treat bags this year. Experts say high cocoa prices have people buying less chocolate and more gummy and fruity treats. A market research firm says chocolate still dominates, but more teens and middle-aged adults are leaning towards gummy and sour candy. The National Retail Federation expects Halloween spending in general to drop compared to last year's record-breaking sales. And more people are turning to Netflix recently. Netflix says it added 5 million new subscriptions in the third quarter. The streaming giant has over 282 million subscribers worldwide. In some sports news, a North Carolina judge is arguing for the release of the man convicted for killing the father of basketball legend Michael Jordan. During the original trial, prosecutors argued Daniel Green fatally shot James Jordan as he slept in his car along a highway in North Carolina in 1993. His body was found less than 2 weeks later in a South Carolina swamp, and new evidence shows a forensic blood analyst failed to disclose that the testing on a blood-like substance inside the car came back negative or inconclusive for blood. All right, what's trending this morning? So Japanese toy maker Mega House is rolling out a Rubik's Cube so small that you would need tweezers to play it. So if you're interested in buying one, be prepared to pay big, $5,000 to be exact.
Pocket change for me. Just kidding. It's about the size of a few grains of rice, with each side measuring just 5 millimeters. But yes, it actually works. The world's smallest Rubik's Cube is more of a collector's item, with deliveries rolling out from April.
Designers say they made the tiny version so people would get to see the beauty of Japanese miniatures. And the toy is made of aluminum and is about 1,000 times smaller than the original. Who would pay $5,000 for a tiny thing that you can't even see, that you can't even, play around with?
I don't know, but I can solve this is a flex. This is not a very humble brag. I can solve a real-sized Rubik's Cube, a normal person-sized Rubik's Cube.
I'm jealous. Well, alrighty. Well, coming up next on Good Morning Northwest at 6, having a shopping cart at parks in Yakima can now get you fined. And that's according to a new ordinance by the Yakima City Council. What exactly this entails is coming up in just a few minutes.
And I'll show you those very frigid temperatures for this Friday morning, where you maybe need to break out the ice scraper. So that is going to be coming up at 6.